Start off a live stream with coughing. All right, we're going to get this Bitcoin here today. It's going to be a good one. I likely won't be able to do a 2-hour rodeo today. So for anybody newer to the stream, heads up that I do take live questions. Check 1 2. All right, you can hear me. And the live questions, I typically only have time to address the ones from the YouTube tier members, and that is the people who have the emblem next to their name. It looks like a star, something with a star in it. And so if I skip over your questions, I'm trying to multitask, sorry. If I skip over your questions, I'm not, I am doing it on purpose, but for a reason, because that's one of the benefits of being within the YouTube Cryptillion or loyalty tier, actually. And then I also provide daily updates, often multiple times a day, 6 days a week, for the Cryptillion YouTube tier, on top of giving first priority or first dibs to, or tied with first dibs with the super chats. So with no further ado, let's friggin' talk about Bitcoin here. This chart right behind me is not the Bitcoin chart. If my camera would work, I'm trying to point at these triangles, man. It looks like a kite. This is the SPX chart. I'm going to show you by the end of this Bitcoin portion of the live stream or this Bitcoin video why this might be the line in the sand, since my finger can't point there. This right here, or a breakage above the top triangle, breakage below bottom. While that, this literally might get all of crypto's next move. I'm going to show you what this chart is closer to the end. Also, not at the beginning of this portion, I am going to cover another one specific line, not on Bitcoin, that I feel, because it's like the master origin line of one of the top coins out there, a BNB. I'll just let you know, there's one single line, even though it's not Bitcoin, it's not part of the Bitcoin analysis, it's a all crypto analysis, because it could get the spillover of 40 to 45% that I've been essentially expecting for quite a while now, and I expect it to happen before February. My guess is December 7th through the 15th, but I think we might be able to see what is going to happen on this one line, and I'm going to save that to the penultimate or the second to last thing within this Bitcoin video. But what we're going to first do is we're going to switch to the Bitcoin chart and check out, we're going to start bigger time frames, midterm time frames, and we're going to look at what's in play, and then we're going to zoom in to try to tell. We're not going to make guesses. So right now, this market phase, it's not about making guesses. I'm telling you, like, stop guessing it's going to go up. Stop guessing it's going to go down. Rather, make specific thresholds on when do I have a tradable edge? When am I not just guessing as if I'm in a casino, right? That's what we're going to do. Because this market cycle phase, even though we should have a bearish bias, we're so far into the bear market where, honestly, applying that bias is not very helpful. Rather, having specific thresholds on which way a move is going to go. So we're going to focus our mentality along those lines. So let's dive into some Bitcoin. These are the micro time frames with tags, the vertical lines on what is coming up next. Before this green line, which is tomorrow morning, so today's Tuesday the 29th, before this green line, you have economic data coming out just an hour before, okay? And my live chart is only going, so just a heads up, I had my live chart open to all YouTube when I was on vacation or whatever for Thanksgiving. But as it says up in your top right corner, the live chart, it's only going to be available to the community members. So you won't necessarily just be able to refer to my live chart to see all this. You're going to have to build this out yourself. And again, live chart availability is both Discord tiers and the Cryptillion YouTube tier has access to that. So let's go back to here. So before this green line, you have economic data coming out. So you might get some bi-directional volatility early on Wednesday. So coming up shortly in 13, 14, about 14, 15 hours, 14 and a half actually. on the same day, Jerome Powell speaks. Wednesday is going to be interesting, folks. Like, you might have, I don't think it's going to be monodirectional. It might be a clown show. High impact. It's not CPI or FOMC, super high impact, but it might be consumer sentiment or PMI, something to that effect. You have stuff coming out at 8:30. You're going to get some volatility on Bitcoin and and pre-market open of stocks. And then around here, you're going to have volatility on both sides because its direction up to the orange line will be the opposite of the big move after the orange line, most likely. Does that make sense? Or it just hits the orange line and goes both directions again. There are two general options. So we're starting on the small time frames, and my green screen is still acting funny. I almost have it fixed. Sorry about that, everybody. But Wednesday's going to be tricky. So if you do not have like 500 trades under your belt, it's going to be better just to sit out. I'm telling you, tomorrow's going to be a weird one. And not just in the morning, all day long. And the reason why you shouldn't feel so bad about if you're wanting to make money and but you're newer and you want to use that day to practice. Reason why it might to try to entice you to consider at least not doing anything at all during that day for newer folks is it's probably going to land back in the middle anyway where it started. So you'll definitely have another trade. I don't think you're going to miss out on zoom up or boom down. That's the greatest analysis ever. Zoom and boom. I don't think you're going to get continuation, is what I'm saying. It's probably going to land in the middle. Now, what are we looking at right here? If you want to put these lines on your chart, let me go to a bigger time frame so you can actually make it. So the vertical lines you could probably just not look at. I thought I just hid those sons of bitches. Yeah, I wouldn't try to copy the vertical lines. But here's what's going on. Now I'm going to show you what this is zoomed out. It makes so much more sense. Now watch. I'm going to take off my live chart stuff. Boom. We have two general things going on. I'll take off the monthly 10 EMA. So our best fit bear market line right here, Bitcoin is dancing on both sides. Up until yesterday, it was mostly using as resistance, but now it's on top of it looking like a support. So in very general terms, looking at this, you have two general options, just two general things that could take, we're talking the time frame of this 45-day mentality, roughly, maybe even 60. So what I'm about to show you is not in one day. It's going to take time. In general, go play up closer to the origin line and get rejected by it. I don't think failure patterns much above is going to happen anymore. That was a big possibility, but right now I think the best case is coming up to use this as resistance over in early December for a December backfill, because the monthly candle is going to close tomorrow, right? So monthly candle closes, monthly backfill. So if Bitcoin has a red wick, or if Bitcoin's monthly December is red and it has a red wick to the upside, that means it's got to go up first, right? That's what I'm talking about. We've covered that on my channel a few times. I'm fully expecting 3 to 9 days of backfill, which means up in general, more green candles than red candles on daily and below the first, let's say 3 to 9 days of December. Does that make sense? And we've already covered that a few times. So let's zoom in here. What we're looking at. Okay. In general, the two ideas are, it's really three. You could keep scooting. So you could go up, you could go down, and you could go slideways. Not really. I don't think sideways is a real option here. But I would guess along this line, similar to how it did here for 60 days, slideways is an option. So you have two down options and you have one up option with a clear obstacle. And let me look at the time frame. About a month. So realize that there are three general things. So now I'm going to zoom in. Now you know what we're looking at. So it fell below the origin line, which we've covered on my channel. This is not good. It's now resistance. It must touch this red line or lower before it can sustainably stay above here. Like we've quote unquote proven this with live candles on 2-day time frame, watched it drop. A lot of people had interest in my origin lines and all that stuff. So you might be able to search on my channel. I need to make a tutorial on that just in general to show people that it works. So I can always refer to it, but you might just search origin lines or watch one of my videos on that. If you're a newer person and you don't know how these work, I spend a lot of time over the months on different videos describing the rules. These have very specific rules and permissions. It gives permission to Bitcoin price, literally. And the rules have only ever been broken once. That was right here, because this wasn't real price action. So the rules are solidified. Yeah, Wyckoff was the only time it ever broke the rule. And you can see it right here. It went below, so origin line here, it went below it, and it did not touch this origin line before it zoomed up. The only time ever in 13 years. All right, so now we know 3 things in general. Hitting the bottom of this fat zone with this origin line in the 2nd or 3rd week of December, around Christmas, as one general 45-day scope, right? The second one is it slides down and just doesn't, it just bleeds, right? Which alts at that point probably would bleed worse. But it slides and still hits the same origin line, the red one, but it's at 14.5 instead of a quick hurry one down at 13.5. And the other one is we move up first to about 18K. A small failure pattern, yeah, that could be 19K. Do you see that? So let's zoom in. Now that we know what we're looking at, I'm going to zoom into that part. I'm going to go to the 1-hour chart. So I could see something, I wouldn't say it's going to go much above. I don't think it would go much above this price action from November 8th. So now you can see where one of my team leaders taught me this and re-taught me this because I forgot about it. But now you can see it over on the right-hand side where that wick was. Okay, so it's an exact price. So I don't have to fumble with this stuff. Anyway, so a failure pattern above this line very, very likely would not allow, it wouldn't go above this line very much. And if it did, then you're looking at continuation to the upside, which I just don't think is going to happen. You got to get down to get up. The next origin line down has to be hit. It's the rules. And there's no Bitcoin cartel controlling Bitcoin price while stock market zooming up to hitting all-time highs every month. There's not going to be that sort of fake out. So on that scale, to the upside, this is what I can see over the 45-day time frame. Okay, so think of all this first part of this this analysis is 45-day time frame from now to the new year, roughly first couple weeks of January. I don't see it going above there before the next origin line's it, and I feel pretty certain about that. And even if it gets above here, I don't think it's going to be much more than a baby failure pattern, if not coming up shy, because lo and behold, what is here? The biggest, baddest EMA, the biggest, baddest single indicator of any time frame on a specific time frame of all. I don't think there's a more important one indicator specific to one time frame out there. The weekly 10 is it. And by the time price is trying to get up here, this could block it. And then it comes up shy. So how big of a difference would that be? So watch out. If Bitcoin starts coming up here, it might not hit my origin line because this weekly 10, so let me make this red so it's easier to follow. This weekly 10 could block it. And then what could easily happen is that as the weekly 10 comes down here, it essentially, the bulls and the bears form a fight. The bulls essentially are defending the weekly 10 once it gets above, and the bears are defending the origin line, and you get stuck. You get sideways price action after a bunch of big move up. Let's say get in a fight, and I would guess it's going to break down personally, and then it breaks down. But it would probably take a while. So if this move happens, expect it to go sideways at the top, closer to the origin line. And it could last weeks. I mean, I'm talking 6, 8 weeks. It could be a while. Does that make sense? And you could have a bunch of moments up there. So here's why this would make sense from a whale perspective. Let's make this safe assumption. It's a fairly safe assumption. Let's call it that there's going to be one more leg down on altcoins and crypto, right? So let's take that assumption with my tobaccoless nicotine. So let's put that in a capsule and set it aside, but it's still there. With that assumption, you have to realize that before it goes down, whales want to invite insects to the party before killing them. So whales aren't nice where they might have let's say mosquitoes, where it has a fog machine that repels them and keeps them away. The bug spray of whales in trading is it's more like a trap. It's more like eating food, really. Yeah, it is a trap. That's why it's called, Tim, that's why it's called a trap. It's not bug spray, Tim. It's called a trap for a reason. Your analogy's stupid. Dirt to dirt. But anyway, so you can get a visual of what's happening, what this would be like. You're inviting insects or animals to come, and then you essentially kill them. But that's with the assumption that we set aside earlier. Does that make sense? So I really think, so it's kind of like gotta get up to get down, or gotta get down to get up. Any move up, counter to how I started this stream, stop making guesses on the direction, right? I'm being slightly hypocritical here. But at that level, it would trigger my midterm bias because this is an origin line. So at that point, I would start having a bias. This will act as resistance, right? But until then, zooming out, let me show you more clearly why. Here, this has similar origin lines. Oh, damn it, Tim. Watch. Here's why I would start making assumptions at that point. I'm going to leave that here, but okay, look how big these origin lines are, right? Let's take off this. Let's get rid of that. It's in the middle. It's not close to here, not close to here. So when it's in the middle, check. Yeah, you can hear me. When it's in the middle, it could hit this one first or could hit this one first. But once it gets to the blue, I'm going to definitely assume and it's going to get rejected because those are the rules of it. But while it's in no man's land, I'm not making guesses. Does that make sense? There's no reason to make a guess until it really hits one of these lines. All right. And then let's see here. Oh, I need to put that bad boy back on. And all of this, what I'm telling you right now, should keep you safe over the next 45 days. I'm forgetting one thing though. My mid-macro channel, and again, new viewers, I strongly recommend that you copy what you're about to see. Once I clean it up. Hold on, let me get rid of my origin lines. Put that on. Macro trend lines, get rid of that. So this is from my my live chart over the weekend or over Thanksgiving. I had this rolling. So this green line right here, it's the same one that's right here. Lower time frame. So this is what it looks like under a microscope. Microscope, telescope. The telescope says, yeah, you could come up to hit the intersection of this blue line with the bull trap line. And what is that around? 18K. What else is there on the other chart? Within, say, a reasonable, the origin line. So it really is a for real target. Like, I've been saying this for a while. I still think that origin line needs to be hit, and it's all almost because of the original bounce off this origin line, or depending on the chart you're on. This one bounced off my best fit bear line, but because of that bounce, I think it needs to touch it one more time. These first 4 days doesn't count. It's after these 4 days, it needs to go sideways, then touch it. So, but with the meltdowns of exchanges, it might behave a little bit differently. It might just go sideways and down, or break down from here. Like I've shown earlier, there are 3 general paths. The most likely way per previous Bitcoin price action, that might not be what happens because you have other pressures. This is why I'm not going to guess right now. I wouldn't guess until it got there, right? I wouldn't start being confident, and making guesses until it got there. But I typically would be confident that that's going to be hit. It's still sort of my favorite option over the next 45 days, but there are so many pressures down that would make it behave differently. These shit changes, instead of shit coins, we have shit changes that hadn't existed before. And that's some serious shit. And it's very negative, right? Global environment, recession, the aggregate yield 10-year, 2-year bonds for all major countries that report on it. The global aggregate, it just inverted. So global recession signals, like big ones, like multi-generational ones, firing off. War. What else is happening in crypto? Oh, I'm missing an obvious one. FTX. Exchanges. The hell? I'm missing an obvious one. What am I missing? There's something glaring. Oh yeah, it's Bitcoin's first ever bear market with the traditional market. Ever. So if there is a best candidate, of a moment. So thinking of all moments, like you're comparing moments of Bitcoin history, and you're trying to pick, okay, this is the most likely moment that it'll act differently. I mean, this is a pretty good candidate for it not to touch this. So it's another reason why, in current position, I'm not going to guess where it is, right? I'm going to have thresholds. So let's break down the small term thresholds on where I think, where I would start getting more confident for trading purposes. All right, so this inverse head and shoulders looking shape here, just realize it is not horizontal. It's close. So you're going to see a lot of people talking about this, right? Just realize this is the neckline. So if you're trying to trade this neckline here, yeah, maybe extra confirmation, but I think acceleration will happen here. The neckline is tilted down. Keep an eye out on that. And the cool thing about trading that is, in the event of a fake out of the true neckline here being broken out, is I don't think the fake out would happen until after this line was hit. I think it would fake out above here if it were a fake out, because that's one of the 3 main ways that this shape goes, right? Either breaks out, breaks down, or does a fake out. Sometimes both way, either way, right? Could go up, could go down, could go sideways. New people, I know that sounds stupid to you, but I promise you it's not. It just helps you understand I don't have an edge. Therefore, if I'm trading, I'm guessing, and when I'm trading while guessing, I lose money over time. That's what it means. So it just helps you go, stop losing money so easily. Right? It really is what that is. It's an important statement. But the cool thing about the shape, though, is if somebody, not me, I don't think I'm going to try to trade long right now, but if somebody wanted to trade long, of this shape, you could trade a breakout of this line right here. And if it were to do the fake out version where it goes up and scream down, well, by the time it got above this next line and did the fake out above, your stop's already in profit. But if you wait to trade the horizontal one, maybe not so much. So heads up, keep this micro shape. So this shape right here, so this is what I'm getting at. Where are my thresholds where I'm going to start guessing before before it's hit? I mean, if it could get above this and use it as support, I'm going to try to trade up to here. But right now, it's below that neckline. I'm not going to trade up. If this really is the neckline, why would you trade up right yet? Or like with confidence? You can't. You don't have the edge, right? And then trading down, well, shit, it's just bouncing on this line. So we're left with an obvious state of no man land. There's fucking nothing to do. I mean, on 5 minutes and below, you can do a lot of stuff here. This is the no trade zone if you trade, I would say, 30-minute candles or higher. If you're looking at 15-minute candles and let's say 5 minutes and below, you can trade any time of any day, usually. You only need about 1.8% volatility or 1.5 on Bitcoin to make 5-minute candles work. But if you're somebody who doesn't look on 5-minute candles a bunch, there is no edge until this is broken down or this is broken above. Does that make sense? So when this is broken below, I have an edge to guess the downside. When this neckline that's tilted down is broken and used as support, so I might have to wait for that back test, really. But once it gets above here and uses this as support somehow, then starts curling up, then I have an edge to the upside. But as of now, I think I just mathematically and visually, visually demonstrated this really is a no trade zone on anything bigger than 5-minute candles. And these are the exact moments and the exact things you can put on your chart to know when you're not guessing anymore. Just when you're not blindly guessing. Even if you make a guess with 90% certainty, it's a great guess, but you are still guessing, right? So it's all still a guess. Educated guess with edge on your side, whatever. It's the difference between being a gambler versus the house. The house doesn't have 100% odds, right? If it did, no one would go. I assume they keep their odds somewhere in the mid-50s or something across all games. I actually don't know, but I would guess it's closer to 55%. You just need that mathematical edge over time to be really, really well. If somebody knows, leave a comment. I don't know what the average, across all games, the aggregate of a major casino. I know Blackjack has the lowest one. It's like 51.4% edge for the house. I think it's the best odds for the gambler. But anyway, what this is, could go up, could go down, could go sideways. That sounds so stupid. You're the worst YouTuber ever. No. You just don't get it. I'm trying to help you. And you need to understand, for all those people who might be feeling that way, this right here and this right here is when you're no longer guessing. How is that not valuable, right? And it turns you from a gambler into the freaking house. What sounds better? Be the house, yo. Don't be a gambler. Know when you have an edge. And that is the main portion of Bitcoin. Now, the two things I promised to show you. Here we go. Shit, what were they? I know what they were, but I don't know what order. I said BNB first. Okay. So second to last thing I wanted to show you, what could get that move down is come on, BNB. Or if my brain could do the alphabet faster. Are you ready, everybody? What I'm about to show you is pretty valuable information. I know it's not Bitcoin, but this is like a crypto indicator. And it could get it perfect. I'm telling you, it could get it perfectly. This might be the absolute best line to be looking at, specific to altcoins, not Bitcoin. Okay, are you ready? And feel free to steal this, unless you're a content creator. And even if you are, and you want to use this shit, that's fine. Just say, I got it from this dude over here that you probably don't know it, right? Just don't steal my shit. But anybody else, like just casual viewers, pause this and take it. Like, save it on your chart. Okay, here it is. And no, this isn't some pride flag thing. That's not what I'm going for. Nothing against that or anything, but it's not what I'm going for. In case anybody's wondering, it's like a heat map, right? Like if it gets into the dark orange and red zones, that is your deep, that's one of those where you can just, with the assumption the coin stays alive and Binance does well, you can just let that shit rip the next bull market. Just sell every strike of second and third strike and fourth strike of bearish divergence on the daily of Bitcoin. You'd probably be pretty good. Okay, so which line is it? Pop quiz. Which line is the line that I'm going to talk to you about? This should be an easy guess, everybody. Because I've been talking about a drop that needs to happen soon. It's going to be about 45%. So if it needs to happen soon, that automatically means it's one of the lines close to price. Right? And I've already labeled it a different color than everything else. Boom, boom, boom. Zoom into here. Watch. November 2018. Ready? Watch. Can I go to the 4-hour chart? Let me go back. Yes. Watch out. Here's the line. Are you ready? Wait. Did it behave normal trading rules with below something? Failure rejection pattern, then dump? After you took out the punch low? Yes. It behaved absolutely perfectly to rules. Crypto doesn't always do that, but this did. Same line. $53 drop. Was it obvious? Yeah. Will it be obvious this time? Probably. I'm telling you, this might be the most important single line, straight line in all of crypto. It could be. For now. The way I label that changes throughout the weeks or whatever, maybe even days. But right now, this might be it, folks. So let me zoom out so you can copy this if you want. And again, if you like this sort of thing, I mean, origin lines come from me and me only. And I have posted on my Discord community a whole bunch of these origin lines. Litecoin, now this, just a bunch of things, all the main ones. Now, XRP, even small ones like BPro, Trias, I have it posted. And you can just use Discord to search for it. But it should all be, you can just search in origin lines Trias on my Discord. You'll find it. It'll take you to either a daily update with it labeled, so you can always search for it, or it'll be in the tutorial section of the Cryptilian section. Okay, now, but here's the second most important interpretation of this. Watch, we're not quite done. For the immediate sense, yes, we're done. But once it crosses it, where is it gonna go? And this is another moment where I'm almost definitely gonna be able to make a follow-up video about a year to a year and a half later, just like I did with Solana. And I milked the shit out of my Solana stuff, okay? Right? And I'm going to do it again with this one. Most likely. It's possible I'm not able to. But what I'm about to say, it's very likely going to happen. And a lot of people are going to say, no way. Watch. So what am I about to say? Come on. We need to put mind reading on your resumes. Let's go. Think. After this line, where is it going? What color? Green, yellow, orange, dark orange, or red? And you can see where the major horizontals go. So if it goes down past yellow, then it's gonna fall real hard. But I think that the yellow line must be hit in this bear market. Does that make sense? So when this goes below here and it's obvious, it might zoom past this line, and this line, and smack this horizontal, the only one in this fabricated price pump, because Binance bought its own coin, essentially, right? I think that's obvious at this point. FTX and Binance at the same moments were buying their own coins. I think that's actually proven on chain by this point. Guy, Dylan, can't remember his, on Twitter. He's a big macro economist. Yeah, anyway, I think that's shown very clearly in the, I could be wrong on that, but I think it's shown in the, what do you call it? The blockchain. Both FTX and this is Binance buying its own coin. I think that's proven. Okay. But the only hesitation it had, the only structure it made was here. So you have a horizontal saying you need to touch this. There is no support here. You built a house on sand. It will crumble unless you go down just far enough and you stand on the edge of that cliff and you piss on it, piss off the cliff, but you don't fall off the cliff. But you need to go on it like a little, like a boy would. Even full-grown men do the same thing. Whatever, we know we do. Like you need to go to that cliff anyway, good or bad. You need to go to it. I'm serious. It needs to go there. And if it hit this level after where they cross, so they cross on February 8th. And this is all about crypto. I know I'm on the Bitcoin portion. This is still technically Bitcoin. I've been saying for a while, Bitcoin, because of important lines crossing in February, it looks like February is going to be the bottom. And my follow-up showboat video won't be on that. I don't think I'll be right on that. But what does this also point to? February, where it needs to go horizontally and from an origin line, it has to hit that. No matter what, it's got to hit it. So if it hits it afterward, hits the yellow line afterward, just realize, yeah, okay, you can go below the yellow line, bounce here, and come back up. But if it comes down here before or right during this moment, right, somewhere close or before, which it doesn't look like it's going to happen too much before. But at that point, if it goes below and cannot hold the bottom of this, what is that exact price? 119? 119.40 is a huge line. It will go down. I mean, it'll probably go to the orange then. I honestly, I don't know where it would stop. It might even go down below $50. So horizontally, you need to go back and build your foundation. From a origin line standpoint, which most people here know origin lines work, it's the most flirted with. So it's like the prettiest girl in the party, right? It's the most flirted with line out of any one. And the white line's the second, like, prettiest person at the party, right? It's most flirtation, most interaction. That makes sense? So it's going to be hit again. And for all of crypto, I'm telling you, just like last time, it might be obvious. So as of now, trading to the upside, this chart, what it says is you're kind of A-okay. It hasn't come down and used it as resistance yet. Making sense? All right. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, maybe I did forget now. SPX. So I usually use US 500 on this. I'm using SPX this time, the spot trade chart. Okay. In general, did I take my origin lines off? No, I did not. Man, I should have cleaned this damn chart up. There it is. Okay, in general, take a look. Look at how this moves on my origin lines. Take a good look. And feel free to copy this. Like, this is, as long as you understand the facts, as opposed to denying facts, that as of now, Bitcoin follows this chart very, very, very well, particularly on lower time frames. This is very valuable free information I'm showing you right now. Okay. It's falling off of this one. What happened last time it fell off of this one? Meow. What happened last time it fell off this one? It accelerated. It bounced around and then accelerated. But it's going to hit the next one down, minimum. Does that make sense? And it's at this one right now. So if it goes below here, it's going to hit the next solid line. It happens 100% of the times. Like, that's how it works. And it will continue working that way. Does that make sense? And if it doesn't hit the next one down, then it'll probably get stuck in here for a while. Like a decade. Look, here to here. What is that? A decade. Right? Okay, so now let's zoom in. Watch. This is big, people. I'm telling you, this is huge. And you will not see this anywhere else on the whole internet. What I'm showing you. So, Okay, now look, that same line, weekly 55, come on, baby. Come on, there it is. Already gone below it, or below, that makes, damn. Wow. Already have gone below it. Big ass failure pattern. Lower high, broke. So let's zoom into this boy. Didn't get a perfect rejection. Went even deeper into it. I don't understand why anybody thinks this is, I mean, I just had some discussions in my VIP Discord today, and I guess there is permission for a little bit more of a rally, which could take Bitcoin up to 20K, I guess. So, and it would still be in line with everything bearish, a failure pattern above the weekly 55 EMA. Okay, so what I'm talking about right now is a shelf life. So formatting your brain to the time frame that I'm on so that we're on the same page. I would say 100 to 120, so about 3 to 4 months is the timing format of your brain with what I'm saying here. Not one day, not 1 week, about 4 months. It could happen within a week, but we're on the scale of 4 months here. Okay. Now we know this line is huge. It's a big deal. And this has to do with Bitcoin. I'm telling you, I know this is not Bitcoin, but this is going to lead the Bitcoin chart. This date right here is the date by which I think Bitcoin has to fall down. About the 15th of December. That's what this line is. All right. Bulls will defend this mid-term trend line going back from October 13th. The yearly lows, actually. Bulls are going to defend that. Bears are going to defend both the blue line and this. Like the battle line is at the origin line right now, right? So if the Bears cannot defend this line and they can't defend this horizontal just under it, that's your point where this is the point where acceleration starts. Because didn't you just see how it accelerated the last couple times at this line? It's the same line. But I don't think, so zooming in though, I don't think the acceleration would happen until this, which means it takes out the punch low. That's not a technical punch low because you're in an uptrend. So that's not a real punch low, I apologize. It's just not gonna happen until this. So it's not gonna be necessarily the same exact thing where it gets rejected, and then accelerates like on one candle after. I think it would look like this, watch. Let's say it goes up first, whatever. And then Bitcoin and all that has to, so boom, boom. So I think it would be obvious getting rejected by it, but the acceleration might not happen until that point. Does that make sense? And that's 38.90. So I think you will get the obvious rejection stuff here on that origin line. But regardless, these triangles, so if the market chooses, gosh, it just seems like it needs to choose a direction here shortly. Even if it's up for the first 2 weeks, like I'm thinking of December, regardless, the next move of crypto will have to do with, technically like this. It will have to do with this being broken to the upside or this being broken to the downside. If it happens soon. If price continues to stay stubborn and go sideways for a longer period of time, past this triangle and that trend line, which bulls would defend, then I would have to kind of move the ante. The next big move would happen below this line or back above the origin line. It would be bust up or bust down. But as of now, for the next, I guess the shelf life of what I'm saying is a 2 week period roughly. No, a 1 week period. If this line is broken in the next couple weeks, it's going to have a hard time. It's really going to be bearish because that means it would be with the news of Jerome Powell. He's speaking tomorrow. Like if it breaks down out of here in the next 6 days, it's not going back up to here. Does that make sense? But all of this is writing on what's happening now, right? Like it's the big decision, like a big move that I just showed you this line. Even on stocks, it's going to happen within about 100 to 120 days. And it could happen sooner. Does that make sense? Like, we're about ready to get some, shit's about ready to go down. But the great thing is, after watching this, you should know exactly what's going to show it. So stop guessing if it's going to happen, like I have a couple times here. Stop guessing when it's going to happen, as I've been doing here. Just be free of all that and use these tools, and the timing as just a kind of a suggestion here. Use these tools to say, hey, there it goes. I'm going to start trading down now. Or, hey, there's the trigger to the upside. I'm going to trade up now until a different trigger happens. Just roll with it that way. And my challenge for you is, for this portion of the bear market, it's going to get flatter until the next big move down, right? Then it'll stay volatile for a while. But for now, it's going to be flatter. So when you have flat compression moves, stop guessing. Is that triggers? Then trade up. If the up triggers, trade down. If the down trigger. But right now, 30-minute candles and above, we're in no man's land. There's not jack shit to do. And I think this portion of the video proved that to you. I hope this keeps you safe for at bare minimum through the new year. Rock and roll. All right. Fuck, I spent a long time on that. But there was a lot to talk about. Okay, I will just skip straight to questions. Give me about 10 seconds. All right, rock and roll. Here we go. Hey, Thurman, you asked about bottom targets for DOT, Link, and ADA. I've already posted that to the crypt. Oh, you might be loyalty. Yeah. No, I think I might have given. No, I didn't give us the loyalty tier. I've already posted those, and I've already gone over them. Let me see if I saved them or made them easily findable. You said dot something else. Okay, I got it. I think I found it. Cardano between 23 and 16 cents. And these are posted to the Discord community and the tier, so if you want to know what this is all about. All right. What else? Maybe I saved it on the charts themselves. So there's bottom targets for XRP, about a quarter. Oh, I did save the bottom targets. I don't know if it has that much in it. It's 70%. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. That's out of play. That's not the right. That ain't going to work. I'm going to have to change that. I might need a best fit line like I do on Bitcoin. Like one that just cuts through half of the bear market and gets a shit ton of the really big name or big moment resistance and support. I'm going to zoom into the first top in April or whatever it was, 2021. This should be April. No, this is early. Yeah, so this is April. This is May. I need to go to a smaller chart. Wow. Man, that's a serious rollover. And it broke all-time lows. It's going sideways through this bitch and is trying to get out of it. Uh-oh. That one of those had to be a bull trap. That's too high. And I could tell because this was short, like it was not equidistant from here to there and there to here. These two gaps weren't equidistant. So I could tell that this one was a bull trap. It went above whatever line is there. I'm working through a chain link bottom target. My previous channel line had too aggressive of an angle. I'll show you here in a second. And now it's gone sideways for so long. Clearly I made, not the right guess back then. So what I have just recently taken off, let me show you here, is so macro channel, I guess version 2. Is this line which worked for almost, about 2/3 of a year, right? And it's moved sideways so long. I don't think a bear market target can be associated with this channel anymore. It's too deep. It's a 70% drawdown. I see, on a wick, yeah, it could. But I just don't think it's the right thing to look at anymore. I'm only looking for about a 50%, 45 to 50% drop for the rest of the bear market on the big main cap alts like this. So I looked at the chart, started pissing around a little bit. Oh yeah, and these were the associated price targets that I had. I think these are too low. So good thing I am looking at this question. All right, so macro channel version 2. Honestly, it looks like the bottom of this line, really. So let's guess around February. There you go. 333. That's my guess. Because I'm guessing this as my time axis because it has a slope. So because it's not a horizontal and it has a slope, the time is important, right? So where it hits this line, look, I mean, just look at the number change. Watch. 440, 340, you know, and so how long was that? That's only fuck. This is a pretty steep slope too. Woo. Yep, 333. So it would be barely, not barely. From its current all-time lows, that's 36% low, 37% lower. Chainlink, rock and roll, and feel free to copy this. Here, let me make it a little cleaner. You could fit this on a 4-hour. No, you can't. If you had like a 2-foot wide screen, you could. But you're gonna need the 8-hour chart or the daily to fit this on. And this right here was its all-time high. Oops. There you go. That's how to draw it. Polkadot. These are valid. My Polkadot bear bottom targets are still valid because Polkadot, the channel I drew for it, is still in play. Unlike Chainlink, Chainlink has gone up and out of its main channel that I drew previously, right? So Chainlink, you know, has gone something like this, and therefore I realized I had to I didn't choose the right channel. I drew these months in 2021, right? About a year ago, guessing where price would go a full year later. So on Chainlink, I didn't guess right. Polkadot, it's still about right. So these values right here, these are not financial advice, but if I personally wanted to pick up Polkadot, I would do it in those 3 spots. That's it. Really that simple. And these are all the reasons why. You could see it literally everything on the chart. However, if capitulation happens around February, which is what I'm thinking, there's going to be a problem, you know, with how this is. It could be a similar number, but it's going to hit a different line in February. So watch. Just there is a nuance to this. Look. See that? It was here, and now it's there in February. Same number, but it hits the point of control instead. Does that make sense? So I still think this is a good level, but when it hits it, it might not come in form of hitting the bottom line. Rather, it just didn't drop hard, you know, in this next 60 days or whatever, and it falls in February. It's the same level, but it looks different. Does that make sense? So watch out for that distinction. Same price. So which essentially means if you use these 3 level on a horizontal basis, you're good to go. Like, it makes it easier, really. Yeah. So those are the. And again, this is not financial advice. This is my guess as of now. But on coins like Chainlink, I just redid my guesses, which stood still for about eight or 9 months. But and so I might have to also change my guesses in the future. But as of now, these are really good, educated guesses in my opinion. And whatever actions you take with this analysis is up to you. But man, it looks sexy to me. Looks like a great pickup. That is Polkadot. All right, what's the probable bottom? Okay, B Pro. I already have Matic. I might have to redo it though. Let's go see. Everybody asking about bottoms here. Is it because of my tweet with that girl's injections gone wrong in her bottom? Now everybody's asking for bottoms. This is gonna get destroyed. This is being held up. This isn't real. I remember try to go to my videos from June-ish, like somewhere around, I don't know, No, yeah, somewhere around late May to June when it was here, I kept telling, I made videos and follow-up videos like, it went over this line. It's getting ready to drop really far, like 70%. And then I made follow-up videos saying, you guys laughed at me. No, I'm serious. Let me try to explain it a different way. It's going to drop 70%. And just look what it's done since then. But it's going to go a lot farther. Yeah, I mean, those videos where it just blew everybody's mind it's going to hit was this line and this line. Right when it was up here. No, like really, because it was all the noobs at the time, right? Everybody was pretty much a noob. They just had no concept of down. This looks like BNB. It's actually a little bit more structured than BNB. I would say that it needs to hit this line or this line, this bear market. And I mean, I could imagine an exception, but a way there could be an exception, but I don't think it's likely. So where's February? Okay, Matic bottom updates. I have a horizontal. I mean, it still could hit down here. So a mashup between this origin line with this key horizontal. That would be around February, which is where I think bottom of Bitcoin and a lot of strong big caps might be. Maybe 10 cents, but to me, that might be a little steep because this has been propped up the whole bear market, very similar to BNB. Like this run up and the sideways shit, even though, you know, technically from here to here is 70, it's like an 80% drop, but structurally it's still near the top. And because it's been able to go sideways-ish within a big range, right? But it's still sideways-ish, just like this was sideways-ish, right? Same deal. This is not going to be my favorite guess. It's still on the table, but I think it's just too steep. I would say that Matic needs to, so just like Bitcoin and everything else that has actual price history of more than 4 years. So that includes Ethereum, all that stuff, but not things like Solana and all that. I don't even think BNB has enough price history, but, or even this chart, really. No, this is 3.5, 3-ish years. But anyway, so you see how this was the bottom origin line that it's ever touched? In this bear market, even Bitcoin went I think it's like 6 down if you count the dotted one. So one, here, let me do a better arrow. So 1, 2, 3, honestly, that might be hit. So even Bitcoin, its lowest origin line ever hit. Like, yeah, that held support for like a decade. It's 4 under it. So I think it's at least got to hit a half one down. There's almost no way this isn't going to be hit. I don't even, I would hate to say it's not possible, but it's just so remotely, like it's such a remote number statistically that I don't know why I would ever make an argument that at least this or lower won't be hit. Or why would I ever make the argument that price will stay above this the rest of the bear market? I don't think so. I think this absolutely has to be hit. I think it's more reasonable to assume over time that this will be hit, but with time, it might be close to the same number. So see this number here? Different line, about the same number. So I really think that this doesn't, I wouldn't say that this is bottom until this line, again, it's ascending. I would say this line needs to be hit. So if it hits in February, March, that's 65% down. Yeah, it's got to get into that zone. I don't see any way that it avoids that zone. I don't think it's possible. Because whatever this shit is, this is being propped up, folks. And once the waters, like once the tide goes out, I mean, people are going to be swimming naked on this one. If I could steal a Warren Buffett type of, and manipulate a Warren Buffett quote, but this is going to get washed out. It could be a really fast one though. It could be a great buy. Like, cause since it spent so much time up here, it could be like a wick basis and boom, get right back into that zone. And then you're freaking 200 per 3x up. Like, it could be a really fast one. Could be. I'm not saying that's my favorite option, and I'm not making that guess, but just a heads up. Could be a very fast one. In case you're snarling at the idea that, there's no way this goes to a quarter. Well, it actually probably will. And I'm probably going to be right. Just like people could not believe me here when all I said was this line or this line's got to be hit. That's all I was saying. I challenge you to go look that up. Go to late May, early June of 2021. Look at my Matic videos. And I made a follow-up because I saw the comments were not nice. And I realized, hey, I know you noobs just don't get it. So I'm going to try a second time to convince you. I challenge you to go do that, but that's Matic for you. Pendlegate. All right, Andre. Pendle on gate. Man, it came out right at the top. That's really unfortunate. So you have to take this with a grain of salt. If you zoomed in on Cardano's chart from this exact moment, it would be worse than this. And Cardano's not doing very badly this bear market, really. It's might actually be better than par for the course. Last bear market, it was the absolute worst performer out of all major altcoins. But this one, it's not. But so technically, even though I would usually say, this one might die, which it still could, but it came out at the top of the crypto market. So to make apples to apples, just imagine everything from this moment. I mean, this actually looks more like Chainlink, down than sideways. This looks a lot like Chainlink's chart. So it's not as horrible as what it looks. But the idea that it doesn't help a new team or a new company, which almost all new cryptos now, they're just using crypto as their stock, right? It's not actually crypto anymore, unfortunately. It's just penny stocks and scams, unfortunately. The monetary coins, Monero, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Dash, those are all real. But because those are not companies. Monetary coins are not companies, but man, just ugh. Anyway, sorry to go on a rant. So this would probably be the point of control. So given that this is essentially a penny stock, whether you like it or not, the idea still applies. With the bad timing comes a greater challenge to survive a bear market, right? Kind of like in those stories of, maybe American Civil War. It was hard to get through the winter for, people, the normal people there who essentially, everybody was a farmer and raised their own food, essentially. And it's all about the timing that can make the difference. So if you had somebody vandalize and kill a pig, your only pig, but it was, April through July or August, you're going to be okay to get through winter, right? You'd still have time to figure it out. But if somebody, the occupying army came and took your pig right around November, December, January, you could die. So it was still bad timing. So I want to be very clear that you can interpret both ways. It's not as bad as it looks because of the bad timing, right? It's straight down its whole life. Chainlink's not. But from this point on, Chainlink looks almost identical. So it's not as bad as it looks. However, the effect of the timing, like the pig and all that stuff, it still could have a big effect because timing is a big deal to get through a bear market or to get through winter. So you got to really taking it both ways. Both are possible. I would say You could do that on the 4-hour chart. Yeah, it's just probably going to keep bouncing in there. So I would guess slideways until capitulation. There you go. Pretty clean chart though. Capitulation in February. Whew, that might be a little too steep. It might be it might not hit the bottom line again. It might hit the bottom of the point of control or this one on a wick. So I would say a penny, around a penny would be a good grab. Just below a penny, just above a penny, like right there. For the macro scale. B Pro, I can't really cover probable bottoms because it's one of the main community coins, if not the main, right? I became a YouTuber on accident because of B Pro. I mean, just think. Most altcoins are going to lose 45 to 50% of their value from now till the bottom. Like, well, at least the first bottom. Bitcoin's going to have a higher low, and it's probably going to be in about 2 years, at least a year and a half from now. Most altcoins will bottom then, but you're going to have you're going to have like a mini cycle between now and then, right? Between Bitcoin's bottom and its macro higher low. It's like just look at the chart of 2019 through 2020, the early 2020. It's like its own mini cycle, right? And I already covered Matic. All right. Nate. Oh, I forgot to say that. If you use the word invest, I have a few words blocked. If your message is blocked, just try to look at your message and look at any word or a phrase that the scammers use. I'm going to try to start blocking them again. I'm experimenting if the YouTube algo will punish me as harshly as it did last time. But last time when I blocked, I wasn't even thinking about it. Didn't think how that would affect the YouTube algorithm with momentum, essentially, to, I guess, push my videos to new viewers, which is the whole key. And it punished me. So I'm doing it again, and you might be victim of that. So if anybody's messages are getting redacted, that's why. You're saying something that scammers would say. So the word invest or, if you're using emojis like up arrows or down arrows, something like that. Just try to figure out, oh, that one word or that one emoji is getting me blocked. I need to start saying that. All right, my first message. Do you agree VRA has hugely underperformed this whole bear market, and do you think because of changing tokenomics? Okay, Nate. No, I don't. Underperform your expectations, yeah. But your class of 2021, your expectations are not calibrated to reality. So it's just normal. Dude, I mean, look, and here's proof in the pudding. I drew this after this flash crash here. I made this box how many days ago? A year. It's been almost, it says 365. Look how it stopped right there. It's been a year. I already knew it was coming here during the bear market a year ago. Your expectations were that I would be wrong. But I wasn't, and it's in my expectations now. So the answer is no, it did not underperform. It actually hasn't even hit the bottom target yet. So it's as expected, really, to perform exactly as it should in its first bear market. There's nothing wrong with this chart, as weird as that is. I drew this a year ago. Your expectations, just like anybody class of 2021, so what you did was, I mean, you're just new. It's your first bear market, it seems, or you wouldn't be asking that question. Okay. All right, I got a really good Veracity question. And this is not anything bad. Actually, this is kind of good news for Veracity. So here, let me start that over. This might be an important video for Veracity people. Okay, Veracity people, I know I've shit on this chart quite a bit, right on its way down to hitting my box that I drew a year ago. Sorry for my green screen, it's messing up, I need to fix it. I drew this chart behind me a year ago because my viewers during the bull market were pissed that I didn't warn them of this flash crash right here. That was almost exactly 365 days. And that is when, after this flash crash, I said, okay, we'll get ready because this line will be hit and this line bare minimum will be hit. But most likely, this line will be hit in the bear market. So don't say you cannot say I did not tell you so, right? But the question is about VRA. So I did all this a year ago. The question is, actually, let me read it. Do you agree VRA has hugely underperformed the whole bear market? And do you think it's because of changing tokenomics? I'm not going to, I've already addressed the second part. I think tokenomics are just not going to help the situation. I don't care how it was reported. I've already covered that. I don't think that's great. But that applies to any coin that changes tokenomics. I mean, hell, remember when BPro, like my channel started because of BPro, it changes tokenomics. I was pissed. I felt, I'm not making claims. I felt, so listen to my words, I felt lied to. And it's possible that we were lied to, but I don't know. I just felt like I was lied to, right? The approach to these tokenomics changes were a lot better. It's like this is good. I don't know if it's good. So I'm not going to address the second part. But for the first part, has Veracity underperformed, hugely underperformed? No. It's exactly where I thought it was going to be a year ago. Like literally. So I think it's performed exactly as it should have in its first bear market. And so I've already said this, addressed this to the person, but I wasn't recording. So now it's everybody else. I said something valuable to that person. And if you're a VRA fan who also feels confused why it's so low, when in reality, it's just actually where it's supposed to be. But if you can't get rid of that feeling, I'm going to help you. But you have to listen. You're a class of 2021. Even if you started, getting in crypto in September, October 2020, you just got lucky being in perfect timing. You're still class of 2021. If you're a Veracity person who is let down, this isn't your first bear market, or you wouldn't feel that way. Unless you had amnesia and you forgot. Okay, so you're new. You had a chest pounding coin. You did not realize that the reason I chest pound and the reason I love this coin, all that shit doesn't move price in a bear market. It just keeps going down and it's going to lose 95% of its value, no matter what, from 𝐃𝐽𝐬𝐜𝐿. That's just where it goes. And that's why I drew this red box here a year ago, knowing I was going to hit anyway. So your expectations as a new person were wrong. So the question was, did it hugely underperform expectations? Your expectations, yes, but not mine. Expectations of class of 2021, yes. Expectation of class of 2017 and beyond and prior, no. Does that make sense? You're going to do better next bear market because you're going to be that person who's going to see class of 2025 or 2024 or whatever. You're going to see them doing this on the way down, and you're going to be saying to them what I'm telling you, hopefully what I was trying to tell you a year ago. It's going to go down 95 to 99%. So diamond hands and hodl for altcoins is stupid. There's no justification for hodling altcoins past the bull market. There's literally zero. There's no sensical way. There is zero. You can maybe justify it for Bitcoin. Maybe. But still, with 80% drawdowns, it's kind of hard to make that case. To never sell Bitcoin. You maybe, right? So you're going to do better next bear market. Your expectations weren't met, but they met mine perfectly. Still here, right? Let me make myself small. And if you want to go back, I think if you want to search my video to say, did this dumbass act? Is he lying to us? No. So it was after this flash crash on December. So I made that video somewhere around December 5th or December 6th. So go to my channel, search Veracity, and then, filter for date or whatever. And I literally, you can watch me draw these for the first time ever. And I haven't moved them. I might have extended this like this. Can you see that moving behind me? I might have extended it, but yeah. So that's Veracity. The Veracity it's fine. Everything's normal. It's not a letdown. Only you are let down, but that's your reality, which isn't congruent to actual reality. All of my reality isn't congruent to actual reality either. You just, with time, you have to do better at making your reality as close as matched to reality as possible. Does that make sense? So you're gonna do, Veracity's fine from that scope. Does it guarantee it'll make it through the bear market? No. It doesn't guarantee it. Does it guarantee it'll beat all-time highs? No. Next bull market, this will become a statistic. It will have less than a 20% chance to break all-time highs. Next bull market. Period. You can argue all you want, but you would be wrong about the chances. And it might actually be worse. About 80 to 85% of altcoins this year did not go past its previous all-time highs. Not even Litecoin or Monero did. Or Dash. So just also keep that in mind. I'm giving you good news for Veracity. But if you're planning on like $2 and shit, this becomes the statistic if it survives. It's got literally less. So it's like rolling a die. So about a 1 in 5 chance a die has 6 sides, but whatever, close enough. Your plans for this to get above its all-time high, it has literally almost the exact same chances of working and being true as you taking one dice or a die and rolling it and guessing the number before you roll it and you guess right. It's almost the exact statistical chance. So if you're seeing numbers like $1 and $2 and shit like that, realize on a bell curve, people saying that are on one side of it. No, but on a bell curve of statistics, it's like 4 standard deviations. I mean, which becomes in the weird like 0.00001 realm. There's almost no chance it happens. Can it happen? Yes, it could. But statistically, it's so unlikely that it's just honestly silly to even talk about it. Let's get to all-time highs first, which you only have a 1 in 6 chance, roughly, of making that happen. So start practicing guessing which way the die, start guessing on the die. See if you ever get better than 1 in 6 chance over a sample size of 200 or whatever. A whole bunch of die. All right? See ya. That's Veracity. So good news and bad news for that. Yeah, Phantom could kill it next bull run. I'm pretty interested in Phantom. Phantom's still in that bearish blue box. I mean, ugh. Yeah, nothing's changed on Phantom. I don't think I need to cover this. Nothing's changed. But yeah, so if Phantom is going to be one that does better than its all-time high, let's say it gets up to this line. It won't hit the top line again, but that might be a little too high. Yeah, it's too aggressive. Because, I mean, we're not going to have a bull run until 2024, so it's not hitting $1,300. So that ain't going to be the line it's going to hit. And this is how I got B-Pro's top exactly on the exact day, doing the same type of shit. All right, let's go like this. Let's do November. Let's just pick November of 2025 as the top. I mean, it's been around November every 4 years, so November 2021, November 2025. Pretty safe bet. It's not a guaranteed bet. Can we all agree it's not going to hit 72,000? So it's not going to be that line. Let's try again. And this will also tell you which line it needs to go under. We're on a live stream looking at Phantom. I'm doing some cool shit with the charts that you will not see anywhere else on the entire internet. So go ahead and take a look at what we're doing. These are called origin lines. You will only find origin lines on my channel. And what I'm doing is I'm extending them. So I must have made these origin lines before I knew how to do it right, because these are not all perfectly parallel. Let me get rid of my macro channel. I'm going to get rid of those origin lines, and let's get rid of these, because Phantom could be a really good play per one of the comments I got here. So all right, here we go. Let's make this fast and easy. Yeah, it's already got a master origin line area. I think this one looks, well, it might be too steep. Oh, those are parallel. Good. Awesome. Okay. So this is a big zone, or they're close to parallel. Once I get going, it'll go a lot faster. And I got a comment the other day saying, you should plan this out. No, I guess he was saying it in a good way. So it wasn't some dumbass saying it, but somebody made the fair comment that, hey man, you should plan these out before you go. And honestly, I totally disagree. It's more valuable to see how I'm doing this instead of me just fucking telling you. I know a lot of people are in a hurry and you just want me to tell you up, down, here's the price, but I mean, from a sustainability standpoint, that's not the way you want to do it. I'm showing you how to look at this long term. And it's probably going to be right. Or it has a good chance of being correct. All right, here we go. Now let's start moving. So I got my stuff set. See how that's about equidistant? Okay, beautiful. So I think in the spirit of every 4 years, around November is the top of every single Bitcoin cycle, right? It's proven true so far. It is an accurate statement, roughly around that point, 4 year cycle. I was among the pioneers of the 4 year cycle is going to break, but we were wrong. And it's possible it did break. We just don't know it yet. But still, it looks like I was wrong. With that disclaimer out of the way, to make the loose assumption that the top of the next cycle will be around November of 2025. That's what this is, okay? So what we're doing here that's really cool, besides putting on extremely valuable origin lines that you cannot find on anybody else's, channel anywhere on the internet, besides that, I'm going to show you how to think of things long term, and this is kind of how I blew people's mind by or noobs. I blew noobs' minds, them calling me clairvoyant and stuff with altcoin price action during the bull run. Which, for those of you who have made it this far in the bear market in your class of 2021, you will look clairvoyant to noobs next bull run, so you will have your turn. Okay, let's say this line right here. So we can already rule out that Phantom is not going to hit the stop line again. That's just not the way it works. Crypto anymore does not hit its top line again. Not even Bitcoin anymore. Bitcoin hit its twice. 2013 and late 2017. No, it might have been. Yeah, it might have been, but it doesn't do it anymore. All right, so you can already say that this line ain't gonna be it. I would guess the first guess I would even consider is here. But let's see if within 4 years, is that even freaking reasonable? Not really. No, it's not reasonable. It'd have a bigger market cap than Bitcoin, I think. Because if you multiplied the amount of coins in circulation times that number, I think it would be bigger than 500 billion. Actually, let's go see. I'm trying to show you what is possible and what's not possible and where to rein in the thought process, right? We're going to set our widest fence, like the absolute perimeter of our property, right? And then we're going to essentially establish what's going to be our backyard where we play the most. Does that make sense? All right. And that's what we're doing. And I'm telling you, it's with the exception that this dies, it has a great chance of being correct. So let's call it, by the time that happens, let's call it 2.7 billion. $27 with 8 zeros. Okay, bigger than Bitcoin, so that ain't gonna happen. All right. So this line's out too. What about this line? $23 in 4 years. Hundreds, thousands, millions, billion. A $62 billion market cap? Yeah, it could actually be bigger than that. But that's the very bottom one. So if this is the absolute peak of the cycle, which means it'll go down a lot lower, it's still have a $62 billion market cap. So that is possible. That might actually be in the middle of our parameters. That sounds about right. Maybe the low end. If this stays a big cap that performs well, maybe it could be this one, times 85 or so. Hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, so about the size of Ethereum? Yeah, that's possible. Is it likely? Not really, but it's very possible. I mean, honestly, it could be close to, with the unsafe assumption that this survives into the next bull market, which it probably will, but with that, assumption, if I can make that assumption, then after that assumption, if it does well to get to what Ethereum's market cap is in a bear market, but during a bull market, that's actually reasonable. That could be close to probable. Like maybe a 50-50 shot of hitting that. All right, so that might be my favorite line. So why are we doing this, Tim? Well, just realize this has a damn good shot of being your absolute top line, just like this one was next bear market or next bull market. So what does that mean needs to happen before then? You got to fill in some lines, yo. You got to get down to get up, and it's gonna. So the best I could possibly see this doing, it could kind of go sideways here and not go down much more. But that's if it goes sideways till next June. I don't think it's going to be that lucky to hit this next June and not before. I'm using this reasoning like deduction here. This has so this line, or this line. So one of these three between here. There's an extremely likely chance that if this coin survives and does well, it will peak out in this zone. Does that make sense? Like it's extraordinarily likely or lower. Like it won't go above that, right? So if that's true, it's not just going to go like this the entire time or like this, right? So with that, it can't just stay at this line. So it's got to hit this one, but it's also not going to go sideways to hit it at a dime, right? So it's still losing 50% of its value if it does this. But if it needs to hit this line, it's going to be before next June. It's probably going to be February. So let's mark off February. Man, give me a thumbs up for sneezing and not sneezing like a girl. I can only sneeze like a girl on Saturdays. On the weekends, I put the anal in analysis. All right, working on my new slogans. All right. So with that said, if it is lucky enough to base off that line, that's still 6 cents. If it does it a little lower, a little longer, if it does it over a longer period of time, 10 cents. But I've already covered this. I already think it has to go under 10 cents anyway for a totally different reason. But this is your idea of long-term thought processes on Phantom. This makes it about the size of Ethereum in a bear market, but during a bull market, that's reasonable. So it could go a little higher, it might stop a little shorter. This is a sweet zone. So if this is the best guess, then it has to fill out some spaces. It can't just ride this the whole way up. So because of that, bare minimum, this line has to be hit. It has to hit it roughly, around this line, which would give it, 7 to 10 cents for a bottom. Now, if it does, well, so let's say in the weird scenario, it does come down here to, let's say, 7 cents on a wick, and it hits $83. That's 100,000%. Yeah. Coins only did that. Only 2016 coins did, or 2014 and 2015 coins did that sort of percentage. That would be a sweet. That would be massive. If all of those things happened, and again, I'm not saying that situation is probable. I'm not saying this is probable. I'm showing you the math of the boundaries. So imagine you live on a lot of land. You can't use it all, right? So you're gonna have the outside of the property one way, and then closer to your home another way, right? So we identified the outside parts. Where does our perimeter end? And then, okay, what's closer to home? Where are we most likely to play? That's everything we've done. Doesn't mean from bottom to top, this is my guess, right? That's not what I'm saying. I got a lot of people come on my channel thinking that's what I'm not saying that. Just mathematically, this is how it could happen. And with your statement, I agree. It is in the charts that this could have, from bear market to bull market, this could have, honestly, this is kind of compelling. This could be a really good play. It could be. Whatever it is that you're going to share in a DM or whatever it is, I can let you know right now, the chart does support whatever it is you're going to show me that from a fundamental standpoint says this could have a great bear to bull transition like Cardano did because it got beat up so hard in the bear market. So that's Phantom for you. If you were accumulating KDA for the long term, where would you enter? I would enter, honestly, without even looking at the chart, I could tell you. And it's not a number, it's a feeling. The next time that you look at a chart and you're like, because of red candles. So red candles up your bunghole. When you get that feeling, I would wait about I would buy some, I would wait 24 hours, start buying some just a little bit, about 24 to 48 hours after that feeling, right? And then I would allow the 1 hour, would I say 4 hour? Yeah, I would allow the 1 hour stochastics to go all the way up, and the next time they go all the way down, which that process often takes, I don't know, like 3 days to 5 days, I would get more on that next trough of the 1 hour. Does that make sense? So I wouldn't do it exactly when I'm seeing the red dildos, because I think it'll go lower like over the next couple days or so. But after you get that feeling, I would do it I would just do it like that. Where will 𝐃𝐤𝐬𝐝 be so you can just, put in levels and not have to worry about the feeling you get? I'm telling you, that's probably how it's going to go down. So for me, I like to have just all my levels chosen, and I don't have to worry about even looking at the charts because it's already there. So chart's getting a little busy. It's looking pretty bad. It's gonna hit this line. Yeah, it's gonna hit the line. Like there's no other way around it. So when you get that feeling, price is gonna be about out here. Now, does that mean you have to wait for that to DCA? No. But you asked me. And I would guess here. Yeah, if 𝐃𝐤𝐬𝐝 was going to avoid hitting this line again, it needed to use this as support. It has a tiny chance to break rules of origin lines and get back above here without touching this line first. But it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it now has to touch. Well, no, it could use this next origin line as support. I take that back. Okay, I would do it. I would start. I would start there. I apologize. You asked when would I start for the long term. $40 to $65. That would be my range. But I probably wouldn't start until this origin line's hit. Because its next drop, it has to touch this. It already has to. Like it has to follow rules. This is as high as it has permission to go. Could it break a rule? Yeah. Altcoins break rules more than Bitcoin. It really looks like it wants to break rules. It might. I don't know. It looks like it might have one more spike up without breaking rules. Here's why I say that. Hang Here, I'll record this. So I'm seeing something new new for me, at least on KDA. I cover KDA a lot in my analysis of, honestly, among all my altcoins that I cover and Bitcoin. I mean, my KDA analysis has worked like almost perfectly. But I mean, for a long period of time too. And for anybody new watching, this recorded portion, go on my other KDA videos and look at people's comments if you're new and you're not believing me. So what I'm focused on right now, and the reason I started recording this is because the rules state of origin lines, because you went below, failed again, and took out the punch low, you now have to hit this next line down before you can hit the next line up. So this is like your middle line. Because of that happened, before this is hit, this line must be hit. So within those rules more specifically, okay, what is our shade of gray, right? Within the rules are you can have a very massive failure pattern. That's typically a lower high to the previous high. So what's the previous high? Here, right? Is that a lower high to it? Yeah. Is that a massive failure pattern? I mean, it looks every bit of like 25%, 20%. So it's still within rules. But it might technically break that rule because what I'm about to show you. I don't think it'll hit here. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But I think it's going to squeak out. It's like a yellow card, it's in soccer or whatever, or like I don't know what kind of foul in basketball, or a 5-yard penalty in football, American football, right? Anyway, it might have a small infraction here to those rules because. Check this out. Before it dropped down, what did it do? It stop hunted and liquidated everybody above, look left, the most, stick out like a sore thumb high. This one was one too, and it also did it. So here, watch. So this high stuck out like a sore thumb. Price went above it, got everybody out who might have had stops or liquidations for shorts right there, and then went down. Right? But on a bigger scale, look. So it took out everything guarded by this and then played dirty and went down. Positions guarded, went all the way up to take them all out, and then went down. All right, but in this case, if we zoom in, did it take it out? Nope, it did not. Look. Oh, wrong way. It didn't take it out. So I could see one more swipe above. This one right here. Oh, you know what? This one didn't take it. So that was when it dropped. I apologize. But it came right up to it. It was pretty freaking close. But this one is significantly lower. From here to here, significantly lower. So I don't think the players who who trade that way, because they can see order, it's some type of algorithmic bot where they can see order books. That's why that stuff happens. Order books on both futures and spot trade. So the idea here is they didn't get that play with this high. It's too much of a slope down. So I could easily see it come up here and take this high out, which means within the rules, but only breaking them slightly, it's going to hit closer to 114. It has permission to do that. Do I think it'll do that? I mean, I would guess this was it. This was the move you're looking for. But I would keep this logic here because the same play that's happened the last several times, it didn't quite get it that time. So the second time, it's basing off an origin line. It'll have more power to do it. It should get above it. So it actually kind of looks like it might charge up. That'd be a big trade, everybody. Fuck. Maybe 25% up. This is not financial advice, but it does have permission to do that. And you have an obvious bail point right here. The origin line starts going back below there and using as resistance on something like the 3-minute chart. So let's zoom way in here so I can show you in actually what you would want to wait for to see. So something like this, I wouldn't necessarily bail quite yet because it hasn't come up to interact with this. So because I would have waited, when it finally interacts, boom, it got right straight above, good to go. It's when it comes below it. So here again, it went below it, but what did it do? Immediately got back above this line. Went below it, immediately got back above this line. Still, I wouldn't necessarily bail quite yet. I would be a little scared, and maybe I would have bailed, but just if you could have a line in the sand, when do I bail? This is what you'll see. Go below, okay, I'm still not scared yet. Boom, got right back above it. Still not scared, but since it's happened over and over, it's getting deeper, right? So here, perfect support, barely under, a little more under, a little more under. So when that starts to happen, you realize, even though it's not using it as resistance, it's about ready to. And this is for all coins, all like anything, the price of oil, black market testicles, everything. Same concept with the support resistance line. Okay, so then what ended up happening? It started going lower, 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 and then finally it got rejected. So if I saw a candle like this, so these are 3-minute candles. This is what you're gonna see. And if you see it get rejected, then a nice red candle as a rejection. Right here on that candle is when I would bail. Does that make sense? And this is an ascending line. Damn, it really scooted up. Wow, this just happened. Oh, this happened during my live stream. Huh. It happened before I started talking about it, though. It looks like it needs to come back down to touch it, though, unfortunately. So the only bad thing about, well, that's a lot of respect from the underside. I don't know. I still think it's going to hit a lower high first, so. And then it could bust out. I don't think this is the move. I would be a seller into that rally for sure. And that's what's new on KDA and why it could get a small, like a yellow flag in soccer or football. Trias. I haven't covered Trias on a live stream. What is wrong with me? And it's been hot, so let's get going. And again, I cover, to my knowledge, Trias more frequently than almost any YouTuber out there. So if you're new and you like Trias, make sure you're subscribing and hit the bell for all alerts because I will keep you up to date on Trias price on average about twice a week. Okay, so it's beyond, yeah, so it's gonna hit 230 at minimum. So what I was looking for here is this. It needed to make a higher low period. I thought it would be this projector tool, okay? Because 45-degree angles almost always work. Yeah, it came up a little shy. 9% off, yeah, it didn't quite hit it, okay? General rule of thumb, it almost always hits though. And so, back to the upside, once that target was hit, the way I made these projector tools is the idea for it to break above here, I can essentially know an edge. I can have an edge on that to happen before it gets there. Because if it goes above the 45-degree angle projector tool and puts in a little time, probably happens right, somewhere about when it crosses with a horizontal or this, which it did, right? It just didn't go deep is what I thought. Anyway, if it can get above both the horizontal and this projector tool, hopefully when they cross, which is exactly what happened, then at that exact moment, so let's zoom in. What is that exact moment? That blue line just disappeared because my freaking mouse scroller button Anyway, maybe about here, this higher low. You knew that with this candle, especially after this candle right here, that you instantly had an edge up to 230. Because that's just how crypto moves, folks. Now, what I just said does not necessarily apply to oil and black market testicles. I haven't studied the 45-degree angle theory. I don't know if it applies to traditional finance. So, yep, you have an edge all the way up to 230 already. Like right now. Now, could it go down 11%, 12% before it goes up? Yeah. So be careful. But yeah, I think it's got 20% in it left minimum. And there is a statistical edge for that to happen. I'm surprised. It got the probability flip here, but it did. It's clean and it's going to hit. So good job, Trias, folks. And again, in a bear market, okay, if you're a Trias person, I strongly suggest you watch my Veracity video and you could skip forward from the same date, right? So whatever date this is, like November 30th, you see this released or something, I suggest you watch my Veracity video from the same date and you can go through until I go like this, where I'm saying chest pounding coin. I know this is a lot of people chest pound this and it's doing well right now, right? Green candles can get intoxicating. That intoxication should not blind you. Like it'll get you intoxicated, right? But you need to put the bottle down, okay? Like real soon, because you cannot forget your surroundings. You're in a bear market. That's your surrounding. So what does buy the dip mean in a bear market? It means sell the rally. They're the same phrase. It's the same thing. You don't buy dips in fucking bear markets. That's stupid. The trick is, at the beginning of a bear market, you don't know it's a bear market, right? But inversely, what did I just say? You don't buy dips in bear markets. It's freaking stupid. What's the inverse to that? You don't hold on to rallies in a bear market. It's freaking stupid. Or you don't buy rallies, right? And you don't buy rallies in a bear market. That's when you sell. These Pokemon cards, not financial advice, Trias Pokemon cards. So, chest pounding coin, I'm trying to help you folks. I know you're thinking 3 digits. I get it. I know. But you're chest pounding. We got at least a year left to go before crypto can go up sustainably. So, still, you need to, now maybe your targets for a rally are a lot higher than mine. Maybe you're looking at like $6 for the rally. That's okay too. But a lot of you Trias people, and you look at other Reddit stuff and whatever, because you're Trias chest pounder, which is fine. You can only have 1 or 2 max of chest pounding coins. Speak of the devil. But you cannot get so drunk on the green candles as to forget your surroundings. Please, not financial advice. Don't be thinking 3 digits yet. Okay? Like, at least not in terms of actionable items. It's not actionable yet. So if you're taking action, that action should not correlate to 3 digits. It should correlate to bear market rallies. You're in a bear market and it's in a rally. All right, so that's Trias for you. And it could go a little higher than 250. What I'm saying is, buy the dip in bull markets, sell rallies in bear markets. That's not my advice. That's just how it is. Keep that in mind. Don't let the green candles fool you. All right, looks like I gotta go. I will see y'all on Thursday at 6 p.m. New York time. And I wasn't here last Thursday because it was Thanksgiving. So sorry I missed the day, but